Hello friends, how are you? This is Dr. Shirnagi, Ayurveda and Medicine doctor and also Isha Hatha Yoga teacher. So today in this video we are going to talk about the most common thing that everyone, each one of us is going through in our life, that is called stress. Because these times the situations are like this, whatever we want that never happen. Either it is at your workplace, either it is in your relationship, either with family. So we are dealing with the situations like stress in our daily basis. But most of the people complain, like they say stress is only in this, is a result of just this modernization, and the stress was not there in earlier ages, or in our previous generations there was no stress, and it is only a modern era disease. But I would like to tell people, like Ayurveda has been written ages before, so it was always there in Ayurveda also there is a mention, they have described stress as sahas. That means, sahas is a Sanskrit word, and that means when we are trying to do something for which we are not capable of, this situation for which we are not capable of, maybe we are not capable of that outside skill, or we are not capable of handling our inside, or we are not so qualified to tackle the situation, or we do not have necessary equipments that are needed for the situation, like sometimes our boss, our senior, he gives us that project, that kind of project for which we are not ready. So it creates a sudden burden on us. It just feels like, how will we do it, and what can we do about it? So today we are going to discuss about the Ayurveda perspective of stress. What were the ways and methods in ancient era, and how people in that era were tackling stress, because these ancient tips may be very helpful for us. And we also try to see like how this saha, so this stress, will make our immunity low, because it take away the urges from our system. We all know these days stress is the causative factor for various diseases, or you can say it is the responsible for the etiology of various diseases. It has been accepted by Ayurveda also, it has been accepted by modern medicine also. Even these days the modern medicine is also saying try to live stress free life, or focus on more of relaxation. So these kind of terminologies are coming up because they also started seeing various kind of researches has been done that shows like a person should not stay in stress for long, because it invite various kind of diseases. But Ayurveda, which is an age-old science, even in this age-old science also this stress has been mentioned, and our acharyas, or our rishis, or you can say maharshis, or you can say scientists of that era, they also described stress in a very beautiful way, and they also mentioned like how it can damage your system. Because according to Ayurveda, if a person stays in stress for more time, that leads to ojkshay. Ojkshay means there will be a loss of immunity. You must have seen the people who are most of the time stressed, they are more prone to diseases and they have less immunity. So Ayurveda recommend the best way to deal with stress is to avoid stress. And how you can do it? You need to avoid stress on the physical level, and also you need to avoid stress on the mental level and emotional level. So we will start with reducing stress on the body level, that is the physical level, by using various kind of rasayans, that is tonic, that is been mentioned in Ayurveda. There are various kind of herbs, various herbal mixtures are there which help body to relax completely without any side effects. Today we will see whether it's a child, very small child who is going to school, whether it's an adult or teenage who is going to college, or elderly person or youth who is doing for job, or old person. Everybody in every phase of life we are going through stress, and it becomes just like a companion of us, like it becomes inevitable. People think like it's totally inevitable. Best thing is we will figure out the ways and methods to cope up with it. rather than just become fearful out of it and just accepting it and not doing anything about it. So we need not to do much worries about it, because there are ways and methods to deal with these stress problems. As I said, like, stress is not something new in this era. Sometimes the stress is also beneficial because it is an opportunity for us to grow. Sometimes we feel stress in the way of anger, in the way of fear. We also feel anxiety, rage, shock, grief. All of these are the form of stress, but till our body and our mind has a capability to deal with it, it becomes a pattern for growth. Like, if you know how to deal with the grief, by knowing this you will grow. If you know how to handle your anxiety, how to overcome it, how to not governed by it, then it becomes strength. But when your body and your mind is not able to deal with these situations, then the stress becomes life-taking. Because till the time our body is capable of dealing with the stress, whether it is in the form of mental stress, emotional stress or bodily stress, till that time we are managing to some extent. And even in mental and emotional level, it is good also for growth to some extent, because suddenly you have an exam to give and you feel stressed, you have not studied anything and you feel stressed how to give exam. Okay, I have to study this topic, only then I can give exam. But then you put effort on that chapter or whatever you want to study, and you go for exam and you passed or cleared that exam. It gives a nice confidence, but for some moment you felt stress, but you figure out the ways how to overcome that stress, and then you become an achiever. But there are certain conditions for which you are not able to overcome with, and you do not know how to deal with that situations. And if those situations stay for long in your life, then these situations invite unnecessarily various kind of ailments, chronic ailments, and it give rise to various kind of diseases in the form of mental diseases and also in the form of physical ailments. So let's try to understand stress which is on the physical level. When I'm saying physical level stress, most of the people are not able to understand what is this physical level stress. So let's try to elaborate it in a way so that you can understand. For example, you are putting yourself into excessive exhaustion, or you are doing excessive exercise which is not needed for the body. For example, you think, okay, exercise is good for the body, and you are doing excessive. So many hours a day you are just doing exercise, and you are already lean, you are medium built, you are not very fat or not very obese, but you are still putting your body into so much exercise. Please try to see, I am not saying yoga, I am saying exercise, like excessive gymming. So much time you are spending on exercise and you are totally exhausting yourself. That means you are creating physical stress for the body. In the same way, if you are fasting too much, sometimes people try these things. For some reasons they don't feel hungry, and they say, okay, I will fast till I don't get hungry. So they keep fasting, sometimes 3 days, 2 days, 5 days. They think it is great, but at the same time you are putting your internal body, that internal organs, especially your digestive fire and all your internal organs, into stress, because the cycle of the body is it need food after certain interval of time. But if you are not giving that kind of food, then body organs are going through certain stress. So this way you are creating physical stress for the body. For some reason, if you are getting some kind of injury, like if you are going somewhere and you are doing certain activities which you know, like you were injured your body. So this way also unnecessarily pressure is coming on your body, and that way also you are putting your body into stress. Not only this, but sometimes environmental factors are also putting a person into stress. For example, you are working in some chemical producing factory, or you are working at a place where a lot of pollution is there. So when there is excessive pollution around you, you are breathing, so you are not able to breathing very natural and good air. So unnecessarily chemicals and pollutants are going through inhalation and going through your respiratory system. That means they are putting your respiratory system into unnecessarily stress. And if you keep doing it for long time, then you will develop the occupational diseases. You must have seen, like many people who work in very coal industries and where a lot of pollution, a lot of coal burning is there. you must have seen after some time they develop some lung diseases. It can be COPD, chronic obstructive lung bronchitis, or any lung related disease. So it is not like it happen all of a sudden. It happens with certain situations where you are working, in what conditions you are putting your body in. So if you are working in these kind of situations or conditions, you always try to protect yourself with some kind of cloth, cover your mouth so that not direct smokes go into your air or lungs. And in the morning, try to do, before going to work, try to do proper pranayam, deep breathing exercises that will cleanse your lungs naturally in natural atmosphere, and after that you go to your workplace. That would be more beneficial for you. Most important thing, people are these days taking a lot of unhealthy food because they think food is not very important, and work is more important, so they can eat whatever they want. So many times many people don't get opportunity to eat healthy organic food because it is not they don't want to eat, because just they are not aware of it, like how important it is, the kind of food you are putting in your body. Because when you don't put very natural and chemical free food in the body, then it creates unnecessary pressure on your digestive fire. So your digestive fire also works under pressure, and your body don't feel so good when you don't provide proper food. So best way to have proper food is you eat 50% of raw food and 50% of cooked food. That would be the best for your body. And if you don't know like which thing is more best, if you want to adopt more healthy lifestyle, if you want to do it according to Ayurveda way, you first figure out your body type. There is a link below. You can about knowing your body type, you just figure out which dosha type you are, and there is another link below regarding if you are Vata people, what are the do's and don'ts that you can do, Pitta people, what are the do's and don'ts that you can do, Kapha people, what are the do's and don'ts that you can do. So this way you can see like what suits your body most, and try to put that kind of food inside your body so that your body don't work under pressure, and it will generate more and more health naturally, and you will stay free from various diseases. Also, not only this, but it is very important, like your not only your physical health but your mental health should also be good, because all this anger, anxiety, greed, jealousy, all these are not some kind of normal things. These are also some forms of stresses, because you feel like when you feel jealous, it is not some kind of pleasant experience. When somebody get angry also, this is not some kind of pleasant experience. But people say like it's very difficult to work on these things. Yes, it's very difficult to work on these things, but at least we can take one step towards it. Like for example, if you are not able to get free from 100% anger, but you should take small steps so that you get free from at least 50% anger, so that you will save your 50% mental health in a better way. So how you can achieve it? There is best way is to do pranayam, yoga and meditation. All these three things are extremely beneficial to overcome this mental stress. Not even me, not even Ayurveda, but even modern research papers are also explaining the benefits of yoga, pranayam and meditation in relieving stress. So let's try to make use of all these things. And if you have any questions regarding meditation, yoga and pranayam, you please write to us. We will guide you how you can do, what are the ways and methods to do it. You please write to us. So we will try our best to help you with this, because I have seen like how this yoga and pranayam has benefited me and many other people whom I taught these things, and how positive results they got. It is not like on one day they became enlightened or they became suddenly transformed, but no, definitely there are certain benefits in the lives, in the family situation, in the emotional health, mental health. So that's why yoga, pranayam and meditation are extremely beneficial for the mental health of a person. Because if we don't take care of all these stresses at various levels, what will happen? It will cause degeneration in the body, degeneration in the mental level, degeneration is the emotional level, and we all know if degeneration is happening, definitely we are not going towards the positive side of health. So it becomes extremely important, like we need to stop this degeneration at certain point by adopting the various ancient techniques that are available with us, and to make use of them to make our health better. And in Ayurveda, it's been said like Vata is the main dosha. If we go for, if our keep our body in stress for long, the most viated dosha which get disturbed the most, that is the Vata dosha. And as we know, Vata dosha is responsible for Pitta and Kapha doshas working, because if Vata is not working properly, it is not, it is very possibility like when Vata is disturbed, it will disturb the Kapha and Pitta dosha also, because Vata is considered as the most powerful dosha among all the three doshas. And if we go through the modern era, like how we are living our lifestyle these days, we have fixed some goals in our life and we just want to achieve that goal, and after that we have this tendency like once I achieve this goal, after that once I achieve this goal, after that I am going to eat this way, after that I am going to eat proper meal, till then I will not eat proper meal, or till then I will not start any yoga or pranayam or meditation. Once I achieve that goal, only after that I will start living healthy. But when we have this mindset, yes, achieving goal is important, but your health is also very important, because what's the purpose of achieving the goal after when